After the end of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, no one thought that there would be a conflict that would succeed it in death. Their doubts soon became a reality when World War II, the Second World War, began in 1939. Arising from the growing resentment from the Treaty of Versailles and the growing ideology of totalitarianism and fascism, the conflict between the Axis powers of Germany, Italy, and Japan, and the Allied forces of the United States, Britain, France, the USSR, and other nations started mainly due to the invasion of Poland by German forces. It has been considered one of the most violent and bloodiest conflicts in world history. No one was safe from the conflict as soldiers and civilians were both caught in the crossfire, two-thirds of the deaths being civilians. Brutality was at an all-time high. Total war raged across the world. Buildings were destroyed. The very fabric of peace was torn to shreds as a cloak of despair engulfed the world, affecting everyone involved in the war effort. In just 6 years of worldwide fighting, over 70 million were killed in total, adding up to roughly the entire 2013 population of the states of New York, New Jersey, and California combined. Attributing to those deaths were several factors: advancements in weaponry, concentration camps, some of the most deadliest battles in human history, etc. In particular, one way that tens of thousands of people met their end was through the controversial atomic bomb.
Developed in the Manhattan Project during the early 1940s, the atomic bomb was built under the lead scientist Robert Oppenheimer, who was put in charge of putting the pieces together at Los Alamos. After testing its destructive capability in the middle of a barren desert, President Truman made plans to attempt negotiations with Japan before resorting to extreme measures. When Japan refused to negotiate peace terms, coupled with the desire to end the war as soon as possible, Truman authorized the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The bombs were transported by the Enola Gay, piloted by Paul Tibbets, whose B-29 dropped the nearly 5-ton bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, killing 80,000 people immediately, and many more due to radiation poisoning. Within a short period of time, after a second bomb hit Nagasaki, Emperor Hirohito of Japan surrendered, taking Japan out of the war. The bomb no doubt ended the war, but was it a humane strategy? Was the United States justified in killing over 100,000 Japanese civilians and affecting the landscape forever? Many shifts occurred in America during World War II, including the shift from isolationism to active involvement. How would dropping the atomic bomb affect America's relationship with Japan and foreign countries in general? Was there an alternative to ending the war that was less extreme compared to the atomic bomb or the potential invasion of Japan? Can the atomic bomb be considered a military strategy or simply a weapon for mass murder? Due to the atomic bomb, foreign nations will never treat America the same, but with this military strategy, hundreds of thousands of young American lives were saved. We can visualize the possible conflict between two men: J. Robert Oppenheimer, the lead scientist in charge of the Manhattan Project, who feels uneasy about the atomic bomb's destructive power, and President Harry Truman, who used the atomic bomb to attain peace.
Mr. President, can I talk with you for a second?
Of course, Mr. Oppenheimer. Without you, the war would still be happening.
You know, I've been thinking, and I think it wasn't the correct decision to drop the bomb on Japan, because it just wasn't the humane thing to do. 2 cities leveled, everyone killed in a 1-mile radius. They never had a chance.
It wasn't necessary evil. American lives have to come first. I did what I did to end the war as quickly as possible and minimize American casualties.
Mr. President, you didn't see what I saw. I literally became death, the destroyer of the worlds. The desolation, the destruction, the dead being mixed with the living, it's all my fault. I can't live with the guilt of killing hundreds of thousands of innocent people in cold blood. They didn't even have a chance, and they never will.
Would it have been any better if we did not drop the atomic bomb? The Pacific War was already killing millions of innocent lives. But the ultimate goal is victory. The question is not whether we can avoid killing, but how many lives we can save. It is my duty as President of the United States to make these hard decisions and do everything in my power to save American lives.
That's not the point, sir. Dropping the atomic bomb wasn't the only way to get Japan to surrender. It was just the most extreme. By 1945, Japan was really close to defeat. Their navy and air force were destroyed, and the Allied blockade of Japan and intensive bombing of Japanese cities had left the country and its economy devastated. Even Okinawa was captured, giving us the opportunity for a full-scale invasion on Japan. The Japanese government would have eventually realized that they were fighting an unwinnable battle and surrender peacefully. None of this bloodshed that we created with this bomb would have happened.
But they didn't surrender. In response to the Potsdam Declaration demanding the unconditional surrender of all Japanese armed forces or else facing destruction, Japanese Prime Minister Kankura Suzuki said that his government was paying no attention to the Allied ultimatum. They weren't going to back down. What was a better choice? Doing a Normandy-like invasion on the Japanese homeland, which would result in 10 times more American casualties than the Normandy invasion, or dropping an atomic bomb that would result in 0 Allied deaths. The Japanese weren't the only lives. They were American lives too.
Even still, in terms of our reputation, the United States of America will be seen as a terrifying force. After seeing what we did to Japan, our foreign relations are sure to suffer, especially with the Japanese. Based on what we did to them, we're no better than Hitler, Mussolini, or any other dictator. We just ended and ruined innocent lives in an instant. There's no coming back from this.
I understand how you feel, but it isn't like we're not helping them. Don't you remember we sent General MacArthur to reconstruct and recover for Japan? The war ended, Oppenheimer. Amends can be made. You say that our use of the atomic bomb has made us no better than Nazi Germany, but I think the opposite. Now the world has seen the type of power of the United States can exert. The force of our actions will remind everybody and every country, every person, that war is not a viable solution. In the end, what transpired in Hiroshima and Nagasaki will teach future generations about our own mistakes. It will lead to a new era of peace.
That's not the point, sir.
I've heard enough. I will acknowledge your opinion about and beliefs about both of our actions, but I still disagree with the rest of what you're trying to say. You have your reasons, as do I, but this argument will only continue for eternity at this point if we keep talking. As soon as we tested it, the atomic bomb changed the world. Even if it was not destroyed, detonated at those two cities, testing was enough to show us the potential. Take care, Oppenheimer, and rest easy. For now, the main concern is the future and how we pretend to recover from this nasty war. We need to manage this weapon and make sure that the power does not get into the wrong hands. And I don't just mean us. I refer to the Allied powers and the Axis powers, even Japan.